Hello, friends. So, we have completed the study of the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, in today's video, I am going to be providing you the summary of this chapter. So, Shri Krishna starts off this chapter by telling Arjun that now I am going to start to tell you how to stay attached with me. So, what Shri Krishna then says is that amongst thousands of people, only a few actually make an effort to know me, and even amongst those who make an effort to know me, only very few are actually able to understand me in the truest sense. After that, he tells Arjun that this physical world is my lower energy. So, all the five elements with which this physical world is made of, that is my lower energy. And then there is my higher energy, which gives embodiment to all the different beings that are present over here. So, from this, it becomes clear that all the living beings which are present in this universe, they are living because of Shri Krishna, or you can say that Shri Krishna is present in all of those beings. After that, Shri Krishna tells Arjun that nothing is above me. So there are different levels that you can say of this existence, and in this existence, the highest level is Shri Krishna's level, is what he says. So there is nothing beyond me. Everything is included in me, is what he says. He says that he is the source of everything in that sense, or he is the seed of everything, is what he says. So he is the taste in water, he is the radiance of sun and moon, he is the sound in ether, he is the smell in earth, and he is the brilliance in fire. So all the physical elements, how they are actually defined, how what their characteristic is, what their dharma is, that is what Sri Krishna is, what he says. Then he describes that in terms of people also. He says that he is the bravery of the brave, he is the intelligence of the wise, he is the brilliance of the brilliant person, he is the austerity of the austere, and he is the strength of the strong. So, whatever defines a particular being, then that definition in himself is Sri Krishna. So a brave person can only be brave if he has bravery. So that bravery is what Sri Krishna is. Or a brilliant person can only be brilliant when he has brilliance. So Sri Krishna is that brilliance. Now if Sri Krishna leaves the that person, then that person is no longer that. So if bravery leaves the brave, then the person is no longer brave, or the intelligence leaves the wise, then that person is no longer wise. And similarly, you can think of other things also. So, for example, flowers are supposed to be beautiful. So, beauty is what Sri Krishna is in flower. Now, if beauty departs the flower, then the flower is no longer useful and it should be thrown. So, in that sense, he is the seed behind all of these things which are present, in that through him is how these things are fulfilling their own dharma. So Sri Krishna then tells that he actually is, he actually the he's a, he, the nature is basically his part, and all the three qualities of this nature actually come from him. And you should understand, Shri Krishna tells that to Arjun, that you should understand that these qualities come from me, but that doesn't mean that I am in these qualities, which means that Shri Krishna is beyond this universe also. So universe is in Shri Krishna, and it's not the otherwise that Shri Krishna is in universe. So he clarifies that also later on, where he says that the ignorant people, they think that I have come from the unmanifest and have presented myself over here in the manifest form, but they do not really understand my true nature, which is eternal, unchanging, and which is present everywhere. So basically, what he's saying is that nature is part of me, I am not part of nature, nature is part of me. So I am beyond this nature, nothing is beyond me. So I'm beyond this nature, is what you have to understand. Then Sri Krishna says that ignorant people, people who do not really make do not really uh, submit their will in front of me. There are some people that he tells, so they are ignorant people, they are lowly people, they are deluded people, and they are the demoniacal people who have actually submitted to demons. So these are the kind of people who do not really submit to me, but there are people who submit to me also. And there are four kind of those people, where there is the one who is distressed who submits to me, there's the one who is seeking material pleasure who submits to me, there's one who is curious, he submits to me, and the wise also submits to me, is what he says. Now then he adds that of these four, it's the wise who is the one who loves me the most, and therefore I also love them the most. And amongst the wise also, most of the wise people, they are generous, but there are those who always remain attached with me, and they are the ones who are the closest to me, in my opinion. So the point over here that Shri Krishna is making is that yes, generosity is a sign of a wise person, but there can be a situation where generosity might not be the thing which is in union with my characteristics, or my nature, basically. So he says that generosity is there, but the one who actually is always thinking of me, who is always attached to me, is the one who is closest to me. So then again, Shri Krishna over here mentions that the ignorant people, they think that when that they are not really worshipping in all the times. So basically, in all the actions that we are performing over here, we are actually worshipping Shri Krishna. But the people who worship the lower deities, they attain the lower deities, while the people who act in a manner wherein they think that all the actions are the part of divine yajna, they attain me also. So for example, a not so wise person will worship Lakshmi in order to attain wealth, and he will say that wealth is what is there. So he will attain wealth if he worships him, and by worshipping he means that he acts in a manner wherein he wants to attain money. So he will attain that, but he will not be able to attain Shri Krishna himself. He will be only able to attain the wealth. But if a person worships the wealth with Shri Krishna is in mind, then he will attain wealth also, and he will attain Shri Krishna also. So that is what Shri Krishna is saying over here. So what Shri Krishna says is that in whichever deity you put your faith in, and if your faith is honest and genuine, then I will steady your faith in that deity, and with that I will make you reach me also. So a person who earns money for the sake of the betterment of everyone, and that person will worship Lakshmi also, but with Shri Krishna in mind also, and so he will attain wealth also, and then he will attain Shri Krishna also. So that wealth that he will attain with that dharmic point of view, with that dharmic mindset, that wealth will multiply in him, and he will attain the wealth, but he will also attain Shri Krishna, and eventually he will realize that wealth is not the end, satisfaction is what the end is, and so he will go beyond wealth, and he will basically attain Shri Krishna himself. So that is what he clarifies over here. And then in the end, of course, he clarifies that the less intelligent think that I have come from the unmanifest and have manifested over here. So they basically are localizing the divinity. They think that the divinities can be localized to just one particular entity or one particular object. But Sri Krishna says that no, they don't realize it, that my nature actually is infinite, it is beyond, it encompasses everything. So the point is that we cannot really just limit our divinity or our worship to just one single thing and say that okay, that is it, this is what is divine, this is what is to be worshipped. That is not what is the right attitude. The right attitude is to know that divinity is present everywhere in this creation, and then in everything see that divine, and act in a manner wherein you are always thinking of the divine in whatever activity you do, whatever thing you see. And if you were to do this way, then you will always remain attached to Shri Krishna, and even at the time of death, you will think of Shri Krishna. So, as he was saying, as he started the chapter with telling Arjun that how to stay attached with me, he ends it by saying that if you will start to see divinity in everything over here, you will stay attached with me all the time. So all your actions should be with that frame of mind, wherein you are saying that you are serving the divine by your actions. If you were to do that, then you will stay attached with him. So that was what was the full message of this chapter. I hope that I have explained this chapter well to you. In tomorrow's video, I am going to be presenting you the quiz related to this chapter. So with that, I will close this video. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.